You guys, my TED Talk, first of all, welcome to my TED Talk, yeah. So my TED Talk is about how your experience is fake. Your brain is constantly lying to you. I forgot my notes over there, but we can... Okay, so there are two ways your brain can lie to you. One is about the world, and the other one is about yourself, right? We're gonna cover both of them. So one thing about how the world think the world is what it is that we think, you know, your eyes give sensory output to your brain, right? And then you see the world. But it's actually not that way. 90% actually comes from your brain to your brain. So one center sends it to the visual center, which is essentially telling your brain, okay, this is my prediction of what will happen. And then the last 10% come from your eyes confirming or denying your experience. So essentially what your brain does, it does like a sketch of how the world looks like, and your eyes sort of show if that's true or not. What we perceive as reality, what you think is the world, right, is essentially just your perception, and which is made out of your prediction and then correction, which is your brain telling you like what you see, and then correction of your eyes actually saying, confirming that or not. So essentially, when I tell you what the world is, what you learn is really more of how I perceive the world and who I am rather than the actual world. I feel like that tells you a lot about a person. And we call that controlled hallucination. The thing is, reality is infinite information, which we can't, like infinite information, we can't hold on to that in our brain. So one little thing we can, for example, try out is if you look through the room and you look at, for example, gray objects. Like look around you and just like look at gray objects. You too, I can see you. Now close your eyes. Close your eyes. Tell me all of the red objects. So you can open your eyes again, but it's so much harder to recall something you don't look out for because your brain didn't search for that, right? Your reality is what you think, what you make of it. Yeah, so essentially you can store or perceive everything, right? If you look around searching for gray things, how will you like remember the red stuff? Predicting stuff is a lot easier than analyzing stuff. If you were to analyze everything constantly, your brain would like run out and it'd be really exhausting. So you have to predict. But that is also the reason why you have biases. One you might have heard of is confirmation bias, which is essentially like you look out for things that you already know are true or think to be true. And that is because we live in a controlled hallucination. Everything you see is a prediction, not reality. And another thing is stereotypes. Like you believe a whole group of people is a certain way just because like some people represent it for you. And in that way, it can be very paradoxical because the more confident you are that you are right is making you more likely to be blind to the actual world. Oh, that was meant to be a laugh.
What do you hear?
Ba, ba, ba.
But look what happens when we change the picture.
Ba, 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 ba.
And yet, the sound hasn't changed. In every clip, you are only ever hearing ba with a B. The illusion occurs because what you are seeing clashes with what you are hearing.
In the illusion, what we see overrides what we hear. So the mouth movements we see as we look at a face can actually influence what we believe we're hearing. If we close our eyes, we actually hear the sound as it is. If we open our eyes, we actually see how the mouth movements can influence what we're hearing.
Okay, so here you have me in Paris, where I realized I have free will. Me realizing that everything around me seems to be fake because I thought everyone will care about me if I jump around the street, everyone will look at me, you know? And here I realized no one cares. I'm speaking in German. I'm speaking in German in there, okay? I'm essentially saying that. I hope it plays it. Yeah. Yeah, so essentially I'm saying no one cares about it, it's only you. So no one cared about the fact that I was jumping. So I felt like in that way I realized like, wow, the world is really just what I make out of it. Like, it's fake nonetheless. And also, I felt like I learned more about myself because not only is the world fake, but my perception of myself could be very fake, which I call the identity illusion. Like, you have no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. You could be like, what you think you are is neurologically said, only like the pathways your brain most took So repeated patterns, that's who you think you are, but that like you have no obligation to continue to be that. And in that way, you can have constructed illusion, which is essentially if you know you are living a lie, right? Reality is not true anyways, you can make the most out of that. You can lie to yourself in purpose. Give yourself a good lie.
Alright, that goes for you. Give yourself a good lie.
Because reality for you is half hallucination, half self-construction, so have a good lie. For example, one thing, confidence. I asked ChatGPT, how you get confidence, right? Here are some things it told me. It's the belief in one's abilities, past achievements, experience, and something else which is not showing up. Social support. So all of these things are based on like predictions and like stuff you experienced. So again, it's a hallucination. You can hallucinate without having to have past achievements. You can just be delusional and it'll work. So things like confidence is a fiction. Meaning is a fiction. Identity is a fiction. And limitations are fictions. So we don't have to see reality as something to be true, because it isn't. Reality should much rather be if it's useful to you, if you benefit from it, if you wake up every day and feel like getting out of bed and just like being the best version of yourself. Woo! Do I have a next slide? No, I don't. And that was it. Reality is an illusion, so make the best out of it.
Nothing is real,
So you
guys.
can't-
Nothing is real. Be delusional. How do you disconnect this shit?
Wait, no. Yeah.